excited for today's session. It is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker, Dr. Ravishankar Gundlapalli. Dr. Ravishankar is a founder and CEO of MentorCloud. It's an online mentoring technology platform. Dr. Ravi is a globally recognized thought leader in mentoring and a frequently invited speaker across the globe. He is the author of the book The Art of Mentoring, which is fast becoming a global reference for mentoring best practices. Dr. Ravi recently launched Amritkal Mentors, a nationwide movement for supporting India's ambition to become a fully developed nation by 2047. Dr. Ravi is also worked at Boeing 787 Dreamliner, Raytheon, and Hitachi Global Storage. We are privileged to have Dr. Ravi with us today to share his insights, the IIT experience as a foundation for lifelong success. In this leadership talk, Dr. Ravishankar will expand on what kind of meticulous karma leads to success based on his own story and how to leverage the campus learning and resources and experiences to launch one's career successfully. To conclude, I would like to invite Ms. Sujata Dubey, Vice President of Alumni Relations, to felicitate our esteemed speaker, Dr. Ravi.
First of all, thank you so much. But today, my talk is not about me. All that background is fine. But I want this talk to be about you. Remember at the end, she said, how we can support India's ambition to become number three, how India's goal to become a fully developed country. We are actually developed in other ways. I actually did a whole talk once in Mexico. They asked me to talk about prosperity at the bottom of the pyramid. But I asked them which pyramid. Because you cannot. The West defines pyramid as just money, and they think India is at the bottom. I said, what about human values? What about family values? In that pyramid, where is India? We are at the top, right? So I gave them so many pyramids. Money is not the only pyramid. So we have an excellent opportunity, and all of you represent that growth. By 2047, you'll probably be 35, 40 years, and I would like all of you to contribute to that, right? It's because India has it. In fact, it's called Amrit Kal, means everything is coming together. I did a talk at the IIT conference. When everything comes together, even for a seed, if it has to germinate, it needs the right amount of sunlight, right amount of soil, nutrients, air, water, everything, right? India is like that. All of you are like those seeds. You have the right technology, right kind of resources, right kind of mentors, and access to pretty much anything. In fact, last night I said, if there's one thing I can ask God, make me 19 again, because you guys are too lucky. When I was in the shoe in your shoes, not in a beautiful theater, like we didn't have this. I think at that time there was no internet, there was no nothing. Like today, you have access to so much. So to succeed is in your hand, right? Somebody is not going to put something in your pocket and say, "Come, you are such a nice person. I'll give you success." You have to work towards it. So we'll talk about how to sort of leverage what you already have. Right, what you already have, because you're already in one of the greatest places on the earth, right? Yesterday, I had all the students keep repeating, "We are IITians," right? Yeah, we are IITians. Yeah, there has to be some arrogance here. Come on, we are smart people. There's no doubt about it. But it should not become what they call chip on your shoulder. Don't get arrogant from that, but be confident. Be resilient, because you have all the characteristics to become successful. But you just have to know it. Right? Somebody doesn't give a job, so what? It's your loss. That should be the attitude. Right? I remember I applied to HCL and he said, "Didn't give a job," and he said, "Why did you reject me?" He said, "I know you will leave after 6 months, that's why we didn't give you the job." I said, "It's your loss." At that time, getting a 2,000 rupee job was a good thing. I would go to my dad and he'll be so happy. But good thing they didn't give me the job. So I went to the US and the rest is history. So yeah, we can change now. How much time do we have? What's the time like? It's 6:10 right now. Can we go for about 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some questions.
Okay, yeah. We'll make it very interactive. I might engage you. I have no idea what I'm going to say, but we will see what happens. So I'm going to talk about how do you take what you already have to become successful. Okay, this is your foundation. So we'll talk about. I think I have this fancy stuff. So if you really look at it, the IIT experience, right? I kind of summarize it in all the things. Just you all went through, JE. Everybody undergrad, or are there any master students? Masters. So you did the GMAT, right?
Gate.
Oh, or GATE. Sorry. Yeah, I did GMAT. Yeah, I should say GATE there. And you already, especially those of you who did the undergrad, you cleared the mains. You got into IIT. Some of us got into the branch of our choice. But at that time, I got into the IIT of my choice. I said, whatever it. I come from Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. So I said, basically Madras is the closest. So I'll just go there. So I did naval architecture, and then you went through all of these experiences, right? You got admission, and at that time in Vijayawada there were only 2 people who got into IIT. So we were in the newspaper and all the fun stuff. And coming into IIT Madras was the first time, was just like wow. I'm sure all of you had that feeling, yeah? Was it because you were studying for so long and suddenly you are here? But they'll also be like, what? This is it? There's nothing, the trees and roads and everything. It's always the community that makes it better. There's no rocket science. No professor is going to open your brain and put something in. It's what you make out of it. I went to Narmada and took some pictures, and of course I've come many times to the campus since then. But attending classes, mess food, deer, monkeys, bicycles, friends. I mean, this is unbelievable. When I think about it, I don't know, did I make the most out of it? I would really think we didn't have this many clubs that I see nowadays. So this is your IIT experience. If you really think about it, each of this is shaping you. Do you agree? Right? Going to OITs, what a fun experience, right? Really. And going to classes and actually bunking class is also fun. Yes. Right? At that time we didn't have any mandatory attendance. Mess food was just one experience. It was very interesting. And we didn't have that many monkeys, but just in this campus alone, each of this is impacting a certain part of your personality. Agreed, right? Because I've gone to the Harvard campus, Stanford campus, Urbana-Champaign campus. None of them are as beautiful as IIT Madras. Guaranteed. Including NUS in Singapore. I've gone to some of I've traveled on all continents. No university is as pretty as this. It may look like old and but just the prettiness of it. That means it is highly fertile for creating your foundation for success. That's what we'll talk about. So if you really think about it, some transformation has already started. So I want you to recognize it, because I'm here to help you recognize what you already have. Right? That's what I'm saying. So preparing for GE, was it easy? How many say it was easy? How many years did you study? Maybe you. How many years was the preparation? 2 years, 3 years? Yeah. So that means 2 years we did nothing, right? No movies, no nothing. Just it is a penance. That means you are capable of setting a goal, working towards it, completely focused on it. You worked crazy hard. You made some daily investments. Somebody said, hey, let's go watch a movie. No. I have this goal, so I have to skip it. So you knew, because you will make these investments even now and in the future as well, right? And you are really good at taking tests. But let me tell you, after JE, you don't have any more tests. I did a PhD, so I had maybe one more such crazy exam. But after that, you don't have any more tests. That kind of tests. There'll be other tests, right? And sometimes you're feeling up, you're feeling down. That means you already have been resilient. If any of you would have actually given up, was JE preparation and high school preparation, was it fun? There were times when we felt very low, and there are times we felt very good, right? Yeah. So you already gone through those things, and you know how to handle pressure from inside and outside. Because a lot of parents will tell you, oh, you have to get into IIT. Luckily, my parents didn't even know what IIT was, so they didn't even bother what I was writing. But the world has changed now, and how to manage time. These are all the skills you already have. Yeah. Because you have to manage. If you don't manage time well and you are on Instagram or watching IPL all the time, you won't make anything in life. You won't get anywhere. So you already know how to do it. And once you cleared the exam, that feeling of wow, I did it, right? How many of you felt that? Felt really good? Yeah. By the way, I saw around the world. This is not a hand. This is a hand, because I don't want God to say, why did I give this person full hand when he's only doing half? So raise a hand, do full hand. It's a good exercise, right? So you felt very victorious, you feeling really good and you feel like a hero. Oh my God, and then how to maintain relationships. Some of our friends didn't get in, but still they are friends. Some of our friends got in, so you have to manage that, right? You cannot say from today you're not my friend, right? You can't do that. That's very bad. And also, I mean, I watch. I think like in 3 days of full movies, like matinee first show, second show, and matinee first show, second show. Because I was like, I need to watch movies till I don't want to watch movies because I sacrificed for so many years. So we know how to take rest, right? So I believe that your personality transformation is already happening, already happened, right? You got into IIT, you really you have that feeling already, right? You're feeling on the top of the world, and I say sometimes, when I first came, first week was great. Second week, I was like, why did I study so much for this? Right? I mean, there was so much, chaos on campus. That wow feeling, and the this feeling, right? And handling emotions, right? I mean, we all left at a very young age, so you're all getting that sort of okay. As you move on in life, how do you manage your emotions and how to make new friends? Right, your high school fellows are gone. If somebody has got into IT, that's okay. So if you really look at it, these are all your. Yesterday I was using the example of quiver and arrows, right? These are all your arrows in your in your so-called quiver that you should recognize, right? And who are those people that inspired you and guided you, and you're now starting to make plans, right? What happens next? You wanted to do a startup, you want to go abroad for higher studies, so you're thinking about all that, right? So again, all this. I took the Namada picture and all of this fun stuff, guys. I think, and I'm sure you all, there is so much going on, especially this one. I mean, this guy is a total pylon. I believe you don't use the word pylon anymore. In my days, pylon was a vocab word like N2, Rbit, RG, all those things, right? Are those some of the vocabulary has changed? Is N2 still used?
Yes. RG is still used.
RG is still used?
Yes.
Yeah, those are my initials. So I was like, Rbit? Totally Arbit? No, arbitrary was Arbit. Anyway, did you know there was a German guy who did a PhD on IIT language? You should check it out. There was a German guy who did a PhD on IIT vocabulary. And he got a PhD too. That means our vocabulary is pretty damn good. Right? I mean, the world didn't understand, but we did. Right? But this was a movie pilot. It was very cute. We didn't have this kind of movements back then. The kind of clubs that you're doing, the kind of festivals you're having. Of course, OIT still remains the same, but I believe it has a better speaker and better camera now. All the festivals, right? Our festivals were not that great. All the faculty members and all these clubs. This is unbelievable. So I want a big round of applause to all of you. This is sometimes what happens in life. Sometimes you have to look back and say how far you have come. How many of you feel so good now? Yeah? See, there you go, full hand. There you go, love it. Right? Sometimes, because the road ahead may look long. I want to do a PhD, oh my God, placement, startups, all this stuff. But never forget how far you have come. If you forget how far you have come, that's when you start feeling stressed. Oh my God, that guy has this placement, I didn't get it. It is all about how far you have come. When I was growing up, I started in Telugu medium. Then luckily my aunt said, why don't you put this guy in English medium? When I was growing up, I had a bad stutter. I could barely speak a sentence. Today I'm here. Resilience is the secret of success. And you already have the elements of being resilient, right? Because we took the damn tough test multiple times. At that time we had only one. So definitely let us start with this. Okay. Now let's go and all the skills that I talked about. Let's see how many of you remember. What were the life skills that you picked up that I talked about? Let's go, the audience. What do you remember? All the life skills I talked about.
Relationships.
Huh?
Relationships,
right? You know how to build relationships. That's a skill. Yeah. To pursue a goal and get it. I mean, so many people have a goal, right? But to get it is just a super cool thing. What else? Let's go opposite. Quick. Focus. You focused on an exam and studied and got it.
consistency,
It's a skill. But nothing happens without consistency, right? And you will. These are your foundational elements. You will need this all the time. Yeah. Smart work. Now, do you think there is something called smart work? No. What is there?
Time management.
Huh? Time management. But I once asked one of my mentors, is there something called smart work? There's nothing called smart work, to be honest with you. It is hard work only, but it becomes smart when you know where to put your energy. Right? Smart work is something like, cutting corners. That's not what it is. You become smart when you do things that matter. Right? For example, you all have internet now in the hostels, I believe, and if you are on Instagram all the time, grades go down the tube. Right? Your Facebook all the time. So hard work, when you apply it to the right place, becomes a smart work. You have to work hard only. Right? There's nothing like I study for 1 hour and then rest of the time. That's not smart work. Okay. So what else? What are the life skills I talked about? Handling emotions. Yeah. Was it all happy last 5 years, 6 years? No. It was crazy, man. I'm telling you. The first Agarwal exam is Agarwal still there? I think it's called Fiji now or something. Huh? It's still there? Yeah. The first one in the national exam of 100, the national average was 12. I got 11. I mean, it was like, wow. So suddenly, in 10th grade, I was number 7 in the country. CBSE had ranks that time. But then you're 10, right? You're like, oh, nobody can touch me right now. And then you take the Agarwal exam and you're like 11 out of 100. Suddenly it's like you just shake up. So it is tough to handle the emotion. But we came out of it. I want you to recognize that you came out of it. And in the future, you will have those kind of moments. You will apply for Goldman Sachs. Everybody thinks it's a great company, but you will not be placed. So what? Right? You go to an investor with a great idea, they don't invest. So what? But learn. Right? That's what you have to learn. You cannot say, okay, I'm not going to learn. Right? But learn from it, but be strong. What else? Any other two more skills?
So you said smart work is not exactly smart work. Do you mean smart work is hard work plus time management?
Yes, exactly. You got it. Round of applause to him. Hard work with the time management and working hard on things that matter. Some people work hard on Facebook also. That don't do anything. So working hard on things that matter is smart work. So I'm not saying there's nothing like smart work, but hard work on things that matter. Okay? Alright. So let's move on. So we'll recap. So you all worked crazy hard. That's a skill, guys. I work hard even now. There is no secret to it. I don't want to rest. I see human life is a great gift. We were just talking with Srini. It's a gift. It's only evolution that we can actually do something and plan something and get it and do it and whatever, right? So we are going to make investments. I could be anywhere in the world, but I'm here right now, right? I mean, I had to run for the meeting here. So we all are making sacrifices because we have a mission. And I can just recap, right? Ups and downs, handling pressure, hero feeling. I want you to recognize that these are your skills already. So you already have a good foundation. That's why I say, the feeling top of the world, experiencing the feeling. I'm just recollecting all of those. So if you really look at it, once you're an IITian, this is something fun, guys. I don't see it in any other university. I went to Michigan, got my PhD there. I did my masters. I went to Case Western for some MBA classes. Nowhere I went to Case. I went to Michigan. IIT is the IIT. And even today. So once you're an IIT, you're right. So you have that great foundation, right? So that's why I took this picture of the foundation, right? You already have that. All those skills are already there. Now you have to build on it. Right? The foundation is there to build on it. And IIT has given you a great formula, right? So from now on, it's about building. That's why the foundation is there, right? Handling stress, emotions, relationships, having goals, learning to work hard, smartly, all of those. So now it's in your heart, hand, and head, right? That's what I say. So uh, again, the reason I bring this because our motto. How many of you know the IIT Madras motto?
Siddhir Bhavati Karma.
Everybody knows it. Yeah. What does that mean?
Whatever is born out of your actions will be like fulfilled.
Okay. Everybody tries. Siddhi is what? Siddhi is what?
Your achievements.
Success. Okay. Bhavati means what?
Happens.
Happens.
Yeah.
When?
When you do some work.
Success happens when you work.
Action.
Siddhi bhavat karmaja.
Success.
Right?
Is
Okay. So we'll talk about that. So IIT Madras, I'm just amazed. IIT Madras had this foresight of taking something from Bhagavad Gita, which is a great mentoring conversation, by the way. In my book, I talk about it. All of us need a Krishna in our life, right? Arjuna knew how to use all those arrows, but he said, "Should I do it now or should I just wait?" Sometimes you have two offers, two universities, two VCs, two founders. How do you decide? That's the Bhagavad Gita essentially gives you the ability to make decisions. People have made it like a Hindu book and all, but it's not. It's about decision making. He defines who the true leader is. Amazing things. So our motto came from one of the shlokas there. But one thing to remember, guys, because I'm seeing a lot of discussion around stress and depression and all of that. There is no reason to be. If you really have a situation, there are so many resources now. But being in IIT, having such an amazing background that you are here, you have all the resources to make sure that you're always happy. I was in Delhi 2 days ago, and this person told me a beautiful quote. She said, "Success is the number of days you're happy." Done. Success is not Elon Musk. That guy feels terrible. I'm on record now, so it's okay. But the success is happiness. How happy you are. So look at your face in the mirror every day and say, "How I'm happy," and that is in your hand, right? I remember once I was in the Art of Living ashram, and there was a 99-year-old person said this even now. "Apni kushi ka chabi apni haath mein rakho," he said. "Don't give it to somebody else. I can't depend on him to make me happy, right? I have to be happy on my own, right?" So the 99-year-old advice. Anyway, we'll move on. So I'm going to give success formula. So since we are all IITians, I put E equal MC square. So basically, my company is Mentor Cloud Mentoring Conversation, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm going to use N2 is the right mindset. Right mindset, there are two mindsets. If there is a book, there's a book called The Mindset. It talks about the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. That fixed mindset is the guy who's breaking rackets, who's yelling at people because he or she feels entitled to success. Right? Fixed mindset says, "I'm supposed to win, come on." But a growth mindset says, "Oh, maybe I should work harder. Maybe I should work smarter. Maybe I should, go talk to a mentor." A growth mindset person puts energy on effort. And we all did that already. With the very first physics problem I don't know if you're still using this book called Irido. Irido, still use it? My goodness, what a book it is. Wow. It's amazing. So when you can't solve the problem, you're like, and you come back to it. A growth mindset says, "Let me learn." I would like all of you to recognize that. If you don't have growth mindset, you won't be here. Right? So growth mindset focuses on the effort. If I get a bad grade, it doesn't say, "Oh, maybe I'm bad in math." This is a fashion in America. People say, "Oh, I'm not good in math." No, nobody is good in anything. You become good by putting effort. Right? Sri Ravishankar's quote, again, I'm reminded, if all of us say the grass is greener on the other side, right? Has everybody heard it? Yeah? But is it true? He said it so beautifully. Grass is greener on the side you water. Yeah. And if you water your lawn, it will be green. So if you take care of all the things that you're working on, you will prosper. Like, never look at the other person and think like that. So mindset is important. Having that growth mindset and good character, right? Really very important. There are some quotes like education. The end of education is character. Ultimately, you need that, and world needs the social leaders right now. And confidence. That's why I told you, we are IITians, confidence, not overconfidence. Yesterday somebody asked in the talk, sir, what is overconfidence and confidence? Right? So basically having the openness to ask other people for advice, having a mentor. Like if you say I can do it all, I'll go fall in the ditch. That's overconfidence. So confidence with the right perspective from other mentors, other friends is what not overconfident it is. So E equal to MC square is my formula. So this is one formula I want you to remember. Have the right mindset, have a good character, be a good person. Good person is such a fun thing to be. Everybody wants you in the room, right? And of course, confidence. But the success formula I'm going to give is coming from our own motto, Siddhir Bhavati Karmaja. So it talks about karma. Karma is action, but what karma? So I came up with I'm writing a book on it actually. With thanks to this talk that I came up with as a karma. So I'm going to give you a formula, okay? And I'll give you what each of them means. So first is to do anything in life, you need to have knowledge. Okay, so K for knowledge, and we'll talk in more detail all of that. But then having knowledge is not good enough. You have to take action. Right? I know how to make the best machine or this vaccine. You have to take action. Otherwise, nothing happens, right? Without action. And then you have to reflect. If is it working? Is it not working? We'll talk about that. Then you have to be willing to modify, willing to change, make sure that you're getting the right results, and then being acknowledged. And I'll talk about all of that. This is the formula I'm going to talk about. So IIT said Siddhir Bhavati Karmaja. I'm going to give you a karma principle. So everything you do I have the right knowledge? Do I have the and so on? So what do you mean by K? It is understanding yourself. That's why I started. You have to understand yourself, understand your superpowers, understand where the market is going. What are some of the I don't know if you use it in India, but you feel like in the zone. This is your thing. Like if some people feel like if it is soccer, then you are in the zone, and if it is music, you are in the zone. So what are those moments? Please recognize those, right? And then you can you can take advantage of it, understanding what path you want to pursue. And again, you don't have to know everything. Yesterday somebody asked an important question. How do you know if a decision is right or wrong? Everybody, even Arjuna had the same doubt. So if you talk to the right kind of mentors, right kind of advice you take, and then make the decision work. That's what makes a good decision is. Once you make a decision, you stick with it and make it work. Okay, so that's why I encourage you to do research, talk to people, and you have access to so many resources now. All of us alumni are available. I think about 56,345 some number alumni. We are there. They're all like, yeah, please reach out. There is actually a program called Yari, so that you could take advantage of. We won't come to you. There's only one person like that, like me and a few other alumni who come all the way to come here, but you need to reach out. Just say, hey, can I have a word with you? I want to understand what to do and so on. So K is about knowledge of yourself and you're doing the research. Everything starts with this, right? Next is the action. Because if you just keep thinking, nothing happens, right? The secret isn't doing. And if you want to do a startup, don't keep thinking. Start something. Start writing a code or whatever. Connect with people that you really sort of look up to. And if you don't, everybody's talking about AI right now. So if you really don't know what it is, just go to online courses, take those classes. And really, I say to be extraordinary, you have to do the little extra. But if that extra is all Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, which is banned anyway, then you will become ordinary. You're already extraordinary. Learn to do the little extra in everything you do. Like the fact that you decided to come today is a little extra, right? You decided to do something different, right? There are 10,000 students, not everybody came, right? So that little extra makes you extraordinary. Otherwise, you become ordinary, right? So A is about action. Okay, I'm going to have a quiz at the end of this. R is reflection. Like let's say, I had the knowledge, I have to go to Bangalore. Action, I got in my car and I keep driving. Now, Pondicherry is coming, Hyderabad is coming, Vijayawada is coming. I can't keep going. I should know, am I on the right track? So that's what GPS says, hey, you're on the wrong track. So R is for reflection. Am I getting the results I'm expecting? Am I feeling good? Am I feeling happy with whatever I'm doing? Right? You should be able to look at what's working and what's not working. It's very important, right? Everything you do, is your effort for a particular course, is it working or not? Is your effort for a startup, is it working or not? Reflection is very important. And then be willing to modify. Another word for pivot. You always have to change. You start with Instagram was the seventh or eighth avatar of the company. Twitter was number 14. If all of us think the guy woke up in the morning and had an idea and evening he got funded, next day he got acquired. No, nothing like that. They were willing to modify their business plans. Facebook was not Facebook what you see today, right? Facebook was started off with a very bad intention. If you really see where it started in Harvard, right? But today they had to change. So be willing to modify, make tweaks to your plan. It's okay. Pivoting, is perfectly fine. There's a book called Pivot. My friend Jenny Blake wrote the book. Pivot is the best thing because you're willing to change. Market is changing. At least 2 years ago, nobody knew what chatbot was. Nobody knew what AI was. But first AI engineer was in 1956. Can you believe it? Before any of you were born, and even your parents were not born, there was an AI engineer. But its time has come now, because in terms of the computing, technology, computing power, and everything. So you should always never look back. When you make a decision, never look back. But make a decision wisely. Once Arjuna decided to fight, he said, okay, that's it. Once I start my PhD, whatever it is, I'm going to finish it. So very, very important that be willing to change your plans by asking the right kind of mentors and faculty and so on. So next is acknowledge. This is very, very important, because what we just did in the first half of the talk was really feeling that how far we have come. And every morning you wake up and look in the mirror, you want to be proud of that man or the woman in the mirror. There is a nice poem called Man in the Mirror. It applies to women also, that we should be proud of that person, right? Agree? If you are not proud, who else will be proud? So you should be very proud. Hey, you in the mirror, you are being honest, you are being good, you are working hard, you are not wasting time, you have empathy, you have compassion, you are willing to help other people, you are working hard. Man, you passed the JEE. Tell that person. In fact, there are so many success books that talk about talking to yourself. Every day, talk to the person in the mirror and you see the energy in the day. See the energy level you will have. Because if you are not energetic, what can you do? Right? Anything. Whether to go to an interview or go to an exam, if you are not in a good mood, what can you do? Right? So, very, very important. And thank those who are helping you and guiding you. Never, if there was uncles in your life who helped you tell about IIT, just give them a call. Don't text. Give them a call. Give the voice as such a beautiful thing. So whoever helped you with your JEE, whoever helped you with your tuition fees, or whoever helped you select your major, anything, acknowledge, because you will have. One of my friends has this concept called the gratitude quotient. Right? If you do enough to people and start thanking, there will be time when people will thank you. It's like the bank deposit. Okay, so you keep depositing. So anyone does anything to you on campus or even before you came to IIT, you should be grateful. Okay? Very important. So I hope the last 30 minutes I may help you realize that the experience, you already have a foundation, right? This experience, central to the success, you're already there. Now you have to leverage it, right? Have the right knowledge, take the right action, be willing to modify, be willing to reflect whether you're getting the right results. See, and then of course, acknowledging the support. That's very, very important. You cannot keep going and say it's like if somebody gives you the ladder and you climb and throw the ladder away. That's not good. Right? Always remember who are those people that really helped you. So with that, I'll open it up. I will leave this on if that's so that we can ask more questions. But really, the foundation is already there, and I've given you a 5-step formula to achieve success. So I'll open it up to questions. Yes.
Hi sir. I wanted to ask. You mentioned an important matter. How do you choose a mentor? I mean, I want to ask from a perspective who's already very senior. So has it ever happened that somebody approached you for help? I mean, he's willing to ask help, he's willing to ask advice, but he started becoming a burden, or at what point should we as a mentee know that okay, this is like crossing some lines for the person, so that we can actually have a healthy relationship and develop that.
Yeah, excellent. Which is why I wrote the book on the Yari platform. The book is available. It's called The Art of Mentoring. So it's not how to be a good mentor as well how to be a good mentee. A good mentee has a sense of gratitude, is accountable. You're following up on things. You're not being a burden, and your number one goal is to make the mentor feel good about the time. Like if you come to me and I feel it's a waste of time, that's not good. Because time, like October 1st, 6 to 8 p.m. is gone for all of us. Is it ever coming back? No. If I lose my money, I can make money somewhere else. But if I lose time, it's never made. So the mentor is actually giving a piece of their life to you. What kind of a sacrifice is that? If the life is whatever, no, here's the interesting thing in life. Nobody knows how long is his life. Right? I've had friends who just disappeared just like that. I called them the previous night, next morning I get a text message, there's no more. It happens, right? Unfortunately, we just went through pandemic. So feel that hey, you are taking the mentor's time out of their life. So be respectful, and whatever they tell you, I always go with a notebook to my mentor, make sure I take notes, and next time when I go, I give them updates. So that is how you don't become a burden. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
When you say that you reflect on your journey, sometimes things don't work for us even when we try so hard, and then we'll have multiple paths to modify the things, like we can pick up this or we can go back as well. So how do you decide that this is the right time to go back, or this is the right time to pivot, or to change the path?
Yeah. So yeah, in fact, I think I mentioned, I mean, well, let's say reflection. Like, let's say, for example, I want to achieve certain revenue goal for my company, or I want to achieve a certain funding goal for my company, and I've tried, nothing is happening. Instead of quitting, I should change the way. That's why I talked about the so-called the mindset, right? What am I not doing? It's easy to say, oh, the world doesn't like, it's all stupid, they don't understand my startup idea, right? A lot of startups, entrepreneurs tell me, that guy doesn't get it. No, that guy gets it. You are not communicating properly. So the reflection is when let's say you want to hit $100 million revenue in 2025, and come March, you are only about 8 million revenue. That means you're not able to make it. So you need to change your tactic. So that's why having your goal, like you want to reach Bangalore in like 8 hours. After 7 hours, you're still in Chennai outfit. Something is wrong, right? So being able to know where you want to go, have that goal, and if you're not achieving the certain milestones. So I always I do a workshop where you have an end goal, and then okay, to get there, 3 months before I should be here. 3 months before I should be here. And if you're not here, that means something is to change. So that reflection is very important, very, very important. Like if you wanted to have, if you want to go abroad and if you want to get certain, admission, and it's not happening, then you have to change your application process, or maybe you should look at a startup, or maybe take up a job and do advanced studies later. Yeah, that is how you do the reflection.
What does a mentor get by mentoring a mentee? Like, how do you, like, let us say there's a person who you want to be as your mentor. What is the, like, for a mentee, there's a lot of educational transaction. He gains a lot of knowledge in the process. So what is the benefit for the mentor? What do you want to get?
Very good question. Nothing. We're totally jobless. That's why we sit and just give advice. That's not true. I'll give you an example. One of my mentees, you probably watched the movie. His name is Srikanth. So I was instrumental in actually mentoring him to go to MIT, start his first company, start his second company. I was involved with it. My transformation as a human being has significantly evolved. So mentors transform themselves. You start being a mentor. In fact, I get asked this question even in investor presentations. I tell them, once you mentor, once you grow a plant, the joy you get, I can't describe in words. You are growing people now. But that is the more philosophical, and let's be nice kind of answer. I'll give you a more selfish answer. If you want to grow in your career, better mentor others. Because you mentor your team members, they are ready for your role, then you're ready for the next role. So being a mentor is the most selfish thing you can do. I mean, most human thing you can do. Human is you're leaving a legacy. But if you want to grow, you have to grow others. That's it. If a farmer has to grow, what does farmer has to do? Grow all the plants, right? If without growing the plants, a farmer cannot grow. Same thing. So I believe, and it's in my book as well, that a mentor gets 10x more than a mentee. 10x. Transformation is there forever.
So it's more of an emotional transaction.
Emotionally, not so selfish. Hey, if you want to be if you are, let's say you are vice president of sales. If you want to become SVP of sales or EVP of sales or chief revenue officer, mentor others so they become VP of sales and you become chief revenue officer. That's it. So I tell people this is the most selfish thing you can do. Some people are very transactional, like you use the word transaction, right? They don't like the philosophy and all, be nice, legacy and all unnecessary stuff. Too esoteric. They don't want all that. But okay, fine. You want to grow? Yeah, of course. Then mentor. That's it. Period. That's it. It's the most selfish thing you can do.
So like I just want to make a comparison between IIT days and right now. So like in IIT, when we are preparing for IIT, then we have a clear goal. Okay, this is something, and at that time we don't have any choices like right now we have. We have a bunch of careers that we can go. At that time, if we're deviated
Focus
from
on one thing.
yeah, if we were deviated from something, then we were most of them were coaching, so they were teachers to basically telling that you have to do that. But now, as we have a lot of choices, there is no set of deviation, and whenever we ask someone, they will just say philosophical thing, do what you like. And when we try something, then we thought, no, this is not something that we want, and we pivot into something else. So like how to basically know what exactly we want.
Very good question. It is now, first of all, take the stress out of it that you should know everything. Nobody in the world knows exactly what to do. Even though they may act like they got their act together, it doesn't happen. So, my suggestion to you is whatever opportunity comes, do a damn good job. My mantra is this: if you love what you do every day, you'll eventually do what you love. But do what you love doesn't happen first. So I got into automotive. I designed hybrid cars. I had a PhD in fluid mechanics. Okay, I was damn good at it. Then I got into the semiconductors, designing chips and supply chain work. I had no idea. I was damn good at it. So one mantra to all of you: whatever it is, be good at it. Become good at it, and universe has a way to take you to exactly what you're really good at. Nobody is going to say that your first job will be your dream job, first startup will be a unicorn. Never happens. Never happens. But so if that's why if you want to, let's say, climb 20 stairs, let me give you that example. Every stair, you can't do all 20 at once, right? You can't jump. So every step, if you do effectively, you reach there. Right? So all of us, you ask any alumni and anyone, every step they took, it was done with the right awareness and right help, asking for help, and eventually they ended up at where they are today. So take the stress out. A lot of children come to me and say, I don't know what to do. It's okay. You don't have to know. So whatever is in front of you, at IIT you have innovation club, you have science club, photography club, music club. Oh my goodness, what 12 or 14 clubs I heard this morning. So join some of them. You go and volunteer, step out, and you will find. No, I'll speak the physics language, right? A tuning fork will resonate at certain point. You will find your resonance. I found mine by doing this. For this, I don't need lunch. I don't need sleep. I'll do it. I'm like a tuning fork. When it comes to mentoring others, I am there. You will find that.
So, what if there is a situation where there is disagreement between a mentor and a mentee? As you have mentioned that there is no one on earth who knows everything. So at times there may be situation that a mentee says that something has to be done like this, while a mentor, he says no, it has to be done like this. So then how to deal with it?
Interesting. It happens. Now, in my book and in my philosophy, the mentor is not there to tell you what to do. Okay, The mentor's job is to give you perspective. Give you a perspective. Hey child, if you do this, I did this 20 years ago, it didn't work. So it's my job to learn. So ultimately, again, let me give you an example. In Krishna Arjuna, in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Krishna never said, okay, why don't you fight today and tomorrow we'll talk in the evening when you're in the Himalaya mess. Let's you and I figure out what is all. He didn't say that. He helped the person to make a decision. Decision was taken by whom? Arjuna. But he gave a framework to make a decision. This is how good leaders are. This is what happens when you get confused. If you take a lamp and there's a candle and there's a glass around it. If it is fully filled with ash, then you can't see properly. That is what the good leader is. Clarity of vision. That's all Bhagavad Gita. The decision is done by you. So if you are sure, now sometimes you have to listen. Okay, you have to listen. Mentees, you have to listen because you don't know it all. I tell this to my daughter. If it is what makeup to buy from Sephora or what movie to watch, ask your friends. But if it is what industry you should go or whether you should pursue a startup or a company, ask somebody who has been there, done that, and be willing to listen. Right? So decision is yours. And if you decide, it's okay. Nobody has to listen to what I'm saying, but at least consider it in your decision process. Right? Because we are not here to tell you what to do. I want you to own it. Arjuna owned the action. Right? That's why he is happy. Because he did it consciously. All of us, when we take a decision, when it's conscious, then it's okay. Mentor can be wrong, so what? I'd rather be wrong, I'd rather you be right. Right?
When it comes to starting.
Okay. I will give a chance to her and then we'll come back. Yeah.
Sir, you stress a lot on
Oh, you were there yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, nice. I see some familiar faces. Yeah.
In yesterday's session also and today also, you stress a lot about Bhagavad Gita. So, how did you start reading that? Was it suggested by a mentor or out of interest? Like, how did you tap on that?
Yeah. That's a great question. All of you should have known this by now. It is a challenge of the generation, right? We have such a beautiful treasure that is born in this country, but now it's not part of our curriculum and so on. So I was just lucky. In fact, one of my very good friends is a professor in aerospace. Satya, if any of you know aerospace guy. Yeah.
So bad. I know.
You know, Mama.
Mama.
Yeah, he was called Mama. You call him Mama too?
Yeah.
Even professors?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I called him Mama. But anyway, so he gave me in IIT a copy of Bhagavad Gita, and I had certain aspect on what it was, and I was like, but since then, I've always sort of resorted to it. But this guy here, Lokesh, has a website. What's your website called?
knowledgeofgeeta.com.
Knowledgeofgeeta.com. He has translated all the 700 slokas into English.
Only 350 so far.
350,
18 chapters,
okay.
9 chapters. I have
9 chapters you have done. So it is the best decision making. If anybody says it is a so-called religious book, they are just totally wrong. The book has nothing to do with anything religion. It is about how to decide what a good leader is. Beautifully written. So you should all be taking. I hope there's a class if there's a class on campus, please take it.
There is one course actually.
There's a course, yeah.
Integral Karma Yoga.
Beautiful. Because these are all your ammunition, if I can use the word, right? These are all your things that you can use because life's not going to be easy, right? Startups, if you do a startup, some customer will say no, some VC will say no, your co-founder will do something bad. How do you deal with all this, right? Bhagavad Gita is a good manual for decision making.
Sir, just to add here, so as you were telling about learning of Bhagavad Gita, so it has been written in Sanskrit, and when someone is interpreting it, so different people can have different interpretation. So, like, how to basically know what exactly is the right interpretation, or we should only go and translate it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. Sanskritam, it's written in Sanskrit, right? There's nothing about interpretation. The words are very clear. Right? Sanskrit is one thing where each word means. In fact, the C language. I don't know if you're still using C language. It is developed based on Sanskrit. The whole object-oriented programming is based on Sanskrit because when you use the word ja, means born from, wherever it is ja, same only. Okay. Right? So, Saroja means something that is born from the Sarasu. right? Avanija means Sita, born from the from the earth. So no interpretation here. It's just clearly written what it means. So no, I haven't seen. Somebody says Gita is this. Do you agree, Lokesh?
Yeah.
Is it very clear?
It's clear also, but it's good to have someone who knows it. Like
Yeah.
we have Vivekananda study VSC circle here. So Ramakrishna Math is there in Mylapore. So I got introduced there itself. So it's good to have someone who can just tell you, ki, "Haan, this is there," but it's good to have someone who can guide you through.
Yeah, that's why having a guru or someone who can guide you is definitely important. But this is so clearly written. Like I use it in some of my texts because who is a good leader? It's written there. All of us think, Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You don't know the book. That guy said, I learned from Gita only. Why read Covey? Read this. Right? Yeah, you had a second question.
Regarding startups, like the one which you had, the idea which you had was not at all based on your prior knowledge, right? How did you learn and gain expertise and establish mastery in that and then startup?
Great question. So it all starts with a problem that we feel strongly about. I've having seen so many entrepreneurs. Some of them are opportunistic. There are very few of them. They see a market opportunity that everybody's buying this, so let me do this. There are very few of them. Nothing wrong with it. That becomes a business. But I say entrepreneur actually means antarprerana. Prerana is a fire, right? If you say antarprerana 10 times, it becomes entrepreneur. That's my interpretation of that. So, what is the fire that you have? Is it education that you want to solve? Is it energy that you want to solve? Is it technology? Is it healthcare? Something bugs you, right? For me, the fact that somebody has all the potential to become successful, but they cannot bug me. And I was able to prove it with Srikanth because he's blind, and then he didn't know what to do, where to go, and I really showed him the way. I said, my God, I can do it 100 million times. That's good for my life. That's a good legacy to leave with. I don't need any awards. That's good enough. So you need to find out, once you have that passion, of course, you don't know it all, right? That's why you should have a co-founder or two, three, four co-founders. LinkedIn had 6. Zomato had 3 or 4. So all this. So you may be good in, let's say, sales and marketing, that you're able to sell the idea, but somebody has to make the product. So that's how starts with the passion. What are you really willing to solve right now? Because ultimately every startup is about improving the human quality of life, right? To make things better, right? So that's where it starts.
Were you part of the product development or in the sales?
I was in sales part. Yeah, I did this technology. We're IIT, right? Come on, we could do it all. But I had other people to help. But I'm reasonably good in technology as well. But I do mostly on the sales and marketing side. And if you're a CEO, most CEOs are sales and marketing folks. Their job is to be the brand for the company. CTO is the one that does the technology stuff. So you need to decide: are you the guy who's going to sit and code and be the backbone, or are you going to be the spokesperson for the company? I am the spokesperson for the company. I may not know the exact, how many lines of code is there or not, but I know enough to guide them. I know what I want. How is my CTO's role?
Does it require a degree in management or business to become a CEO, or we can learn it with our experience?
The students are so smart, really. It's amazing. At your age, you're probably 18, 19 or 20, and we didn't have these questions. We were asking what time is dinner. That's the question we had. So anyway, that's a great question. There is actually my very good mentor, my coach, because a coach and mentor two different things. But he's written a book called "You as Your CEO." You're already a CEO. You're already handling so many things. What does CEO stand for?
Chief Executive Officer.
You're executing so many things: exams, parents, friends, so many things, right? So you don't need an MBA for it. You don't need. Again, I'll do this exercise. I do this to some of my mentees. Some people say, I will do an MBA. Okay, so what? Why do an MBA? I want to be like my boss. I said, okay, fine, no problem. Because MBA in America, where I'm living now, it costs $70,000-$80,000. So I asked this guy once, does your boss have an MBA? He doesn't even know. So he went back and checked on LinkedIn. He doesn't have an MBA. He came back. No, he didn't have. What about his boss's boss? No MBA. He dropped the idea of MBA. This fascinating. I mean, nothing wrong with MBA, but it's not necessary. Some of us need the discipline. What is operation? What is profit and loss statement? What is balance sheet? What is PERT method and all of that? It's fine, but it's not a requirement. It is your personality that is more important.
Sir, you said like you were from IIT, but then you entered the sales domain. So how did you pick up the skills of like the sales? Because usually, if we go with the flow, most of us are not very good at sales. So were you naturally good at it, or did you like pick up skills while working it? And if you did, then how?
Okay, great question. Okay, so and I touched upon it briefly yesterday. Sales is not like, okay, can you please buy this, please. That is the used car salesman people. That's not what sales is. Sales is to really, create a hunger for a product. Okay, that's what it is. You're saying, this is something you need to make your life better. So you're actually telling a story. Sales is storytelling. Okay. Now, if I look back at my IIT days, I'll tell you because remember I told we have all those skills already. I didn't have to go to some magic tree and pick up something. No. In my kindergarten, I mean, no, in my high school, I was in Rotary Club. So I was always, when there was an election, I stood and I won and I became a president of the Interact Club in my school in Vijayawada. There was a course on meditation. I signed up. I learned TM. In IIT, I'll tell you, which is really interesting. Now that you ask me this question, back then there was something called industrial tour. Do you have industrial tour now? No tours.
NEVAC still has it.
Huh?
NEVAC still has it.
Like department-wise cities.
Department is there.
Department wise.
Yeah.
So you should thank me for it. At that time, every department at IT, that means the institute paid us to go to multiple industries. Nevalak was not there. I'm like, what is this? I asked my seniors, oh yeah, whatever. I said, no. So those days, I went to the director and I said, why are you not giving us industrial tour? Everything is paid. Of course, we had party everywhere we went. That's a different story. But of course, we did visit shipyards and all. So I made an argument. Hey, how come, then I wrote to Cochin Shipyard, Goa Shipyard, MDL in Mumbai, BARC in Mumbai, IIT Delhi, some labs. I made a story. Here all we're going to go. And we got the money, we got grant. I'm so happy to say it is so. I am the reason for it. Until my batch, Devalar was no industry tour. I don't know. It is not good. But so I already had them. And as you grow in life, those things naturally come out. I organized the first industrial tour. And I was, like I said, in Interact Club. I was a scout, so I was always out there. And of course, thanks to my dad, he was. I think a lot of people tell me when they see me talk, they say, "You talk like your dad." It's my dad's generation. He passed away early, but of course, thanks to them. So they're all there. You just have to water them, right? Like I said, grass is greener on the side you water. So that's why I told you, discover your skills and put more water there. You will become a great leader. Are we done?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Thank you all. Great questions. Oh, we had a discussion already. So I have this. You can download the book if you want to. If you want to scan the barcode, give feedback. I think I did this in if you want, you can do the QR code. But really, my book is available. You can download. But be the best people you can be, guys. What is your name?
Utkarsh.
Utkarsh. Be the best Utkarsh you can be. Mark Twain said this very clearly. Be yourself. Everybody else is taken. What is your name? Lakshita. Lakshita is taken. Right? So Utkarsh cannot be Lakshita. So be the best you can be. That's what Mark Twain said. Be yourself. Everybody else is taken. Don't try to, that's for a startup, I should do. No. You do your thing. An apple seed should become an apple tree. Suddenly it says, oh, mango is getting more money, let me be mango tree. No, be the best you can be. And you have the best foundation already. I hope I awakened a few of those that you already have, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ravi, for sharing your insights and your incredible journey with us. Your dedication to mentorship and leadership is truly making a difference, and I'm sure everyone here has gained valuable takeaways from today's talk.